First of all, to the audience for tomorrow, we don't want anybody to think it is anti-Semite or quote-unquote, haters of this or that. Would you explain about your background first?
My grandfather was Jewish on my mother's side, and this really has nothing to do with anti-Semitism. It's a historical study of what happened in the Armenian genocide, and it simply addresses facts.
And once we clear that up, you have your facts on a historic basis. Could you elaborate, how did you come on those facts, first of all?
Well, the principal evidence that we have are reports from the London Times. The Vienna correspondent of the London Times initiated a series of correspondence that took place in 1911, where he tried to wake up the Jews of England to the fact that Jews in the Ottoman Empire were slaughtering Christians. And he was afraid that there would be a backlash against all Jews if Jews in the Western world were not to condemn these atrocities. And we also have evidence, very important evidence, from the British ambassador to the Ottoman Empire, Gerard Lothar. And he wrote several reports to the British Foreign Office where he pointed out the fact that the Young Turk Revolution was not so much a Turkish revolution as a Jewish takeover from a certain group of Jews who were centered in Salonika, Greece. And
based on those facts, you said you have some facts from London Times. Could you elaborate on Savid and Zevi a little bit? What were their plans and Ataturk in connection of?
Shabbatai Zevi was a false Jewish Messiah who in 1666 declared that he was the Messiah of the Jews. And he garnered a large following among the Jews, and he wanted to restore the Jews to Palestine from all over Europe. The Sultan of Turkey captured Shabbatai Zevi and demanded that he either convert to Islam or be killed. So he converted to Islam, but it wasn't a genuine conversion. It was a conversion under coercion. And many of his followers also pretended to convert to the Muslim faith. And Shabbatai Zevi was worshipped as if he were God and as if he were Jesus Christ. His soul is believed by the followers of Shabbatai Zevi to have passed on to another man named Baruchia Russo. Baruchia Russo became the next Jewish Messiah, and he established a cult in Salonika of Jews who would pretend to be Muslims, but they only pretended to be Muslims so that they could gain positions of power in the Ottoman Empire and so that they could destroy the Muslim faith and ultimately replace it with Judaism. And they always practiced Judaism in secret. This group that formed in Salonika, this cult of secret Jews, they're called crypto-Jews or Dernmei, established a plan on how to overthrow the Turkish Empire and destroy it. And they wanted to destroy the Turkish Empire because the Turkish Empire controlled Palestine. And the only way that they could gain Palestine as a Jewish colony was to destroy the Turkish Empire. And ultimately their plans manifested themselves in the Young Turk Revolution. And that's why the ambassador for the British Empire to the Ottoman Empire declared that this was not a Turkish revolution, it was in fact a Jewish takeover, because that's exactly what it was.
And what was the connection of, I believe you have some documentation of connection of Ataturk in relations with them?
Yes, there was an article in the Jewish Forward newspaper where a correspondent reported that Ataturk had himself said that he was a direct descendant of Shabbatai Zevi, which is very significant because this Shabbatai Zevi was believed to be the Messiah of the Jews, the King of the Jews, the equivalent of Jesus Christ in more modern times. So it's as if he said he were a descendant of Jesus Christ. And Ataturk was put into power obviously because he had this type of a lineage. And we know from several sources that he was among the Dernmei Turks, among this cult of secret Jews who were determined to destroy the Turkish Empire. And he was very clever. He destroyed the Turkish Empire by making the Turks have nationalistic pride. So Turkey as a nation shrunk down from Turkey as an empire. So he tricked the Turks into destroying their own empire by encouraging them to be nationalistic.